Barakate Yahushai, Barakate Yahweh, Barakate Yahushai, Barakate Yahweh, Barakate Yahushai, Kalalal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Akakodash, double honor to the apostles and elders that agreed with the stone, who do well. Peace, blessing to the sincere Akim. May the elect Virgin pushing issue 24 upon us of the earth, giving diligence to make the calling and election sure. This is Brother Kwana from the Green Millstone Camp, Trinidad, coming once again to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai to do our lesson, and Lord willing to edifying unto the elect to the nation of Israel. Alright, and as you can see the image on the screen, give it your all. And what came to mind, alright, was the woman in Mark chapter 12. If you could just get it really quick. Mark the 12th chapter and verses 41. And Yahushua set over against the treasury, and beheld how the people cast money into the treasury, and many that were rich cast in much. And they kept a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which make a farthing. And he called unto him his disciples, and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow had cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasury. For all they did cast in of their abundance, but she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living. When I was at this woman who did this act, alright, I know it was going into like arms and ties, but trying to apply to with everyday life, and trying to do a video a day, giving it your all, even her living. Alright, think about that woman who gave her all, the 2 pennies that she had, alright, the 2 miles that she had, and even making a farthing. That is a different level of faith, and there is something that we're fighting for, Lord willing, for we to enter into that rest. Alright, there's a gift, and once we had this gift, we had to use it, because there's gonna come a time where it ain't gonna have no. I just bring the script there. This is not the one I really want to, but I'll read it anyhow. Tawada Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. It says, the night is fast spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. The day is fast spent. So let me put on that armor of light to push this doctrine. As Yahushua told his disciples in Matthew chapter 5 and verses 13. It says, Salaka, what is 16, Salakia? It says, away from 14, it says, Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. So once we had his gospel, we had his light, right? Alright? Breaking it down in the right way that is supposed to be breaking down. Once we had his knowledge, we could speak on something. Alright? And that is putting off the works of darkness, because we ought to be more in the spirit than in the flesh. Alright? We ought to think more about Yahushai. We ought more to think about brotherly love. We ought more to think about coming out of this kingdom to go into that rest, Lord willing. So this light had to shine. Alright? It says, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. And what scripture come to mind? Alright, what scripture come to mind is Malachi 2 chapter. Those that spoke what often one to another. Alright? And they that fear the Lord, spoke what often one to another. It says, let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. And that is beautiful, because as the scripture says in Proverbs 27, I believe it's verses 17, to as it might be amongst other brethren, and seeing them brothers pushing. Alright? That is the frequency, the vibration. Alright? That's supposed to move you in that aspect, in that walk. That you see your fellow comrades fighting that good fight. Scripture said to covet for what? Covet for righteousness, covet for spiritual gifts. But we had to work for it. Proverbs 27 and verses 17, it says, iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. It says, whoso keepeth the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof, so he that waiteth on his master shall be honored. And by waiting on your master, you have to be doing this work. As the scripture says, blessed is that servant whom the Lord left doing what he doing. Just roughly paraphrasing. And when he come back, he meet him doing the same thing. He didn't stop and be idle. Alright? But he continued fighting the fight. He continued doing the work. And when the master came back, the chief of the house, he came and seen him doing it. He said, oh good and faithful servant. And these scriptures, or the way how Yahweh speak in these parables, alright, wasn't unto the multitude, but was unto the men who understood. Because actually to hear means to understand. This is the book of Matthew chapter 25 and verses 13. It says, watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. So this is the Lord's business. Alright? And he came unto us and he gave us certain things to keep his business. Now if you is an inheritor of your father properties, and your father have worked hard to build it to a certain standard, are you going to be sluggard? No, you will get up and work. You will give it your best. You will give it your all. It says, and unto one he gave 5 talents, and to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. So as much as your talent was able to do, that is what he gave you. But guess what? You had a talent. You had a talent. So if you had a talent, that means you need to show your talent. As the scripture says in Matthew the 5th chapter, you had a light. So let your light shine so men can glorify the Father which is in heaven. This is the light. So he gave us the ability. The scripture says the Lord gave us not more than we can bear. It's a good fight. Alright? On that day, like how the Apostle Paul was showing 1 Timothy, I believe it's the 5th chapter, the 6th chapter. Alright, he said, now I know there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness. And that is being confident. You're confident and knowing what we're doing is right. So hopefully this lesson was edifying to the elected nation of Israel. Alright, I want to give double honors again. Kalala Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Basham Kodash, double honor to the apostles and elders a great millstone, who rule well, peace, blessing to the sincere Akim, many the elect virgin pushing the shoe 24 corners of the earth, giving all diligence to make the call and election sure. Shalom, Mawat Lababal, Abababal, Shalom.